Solo, a Star Wars story is obviously the solo film. I had to. And this movie stars Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, Donald Glover plays Lando Calrissian, Emilia Clarke, Woody Harrelson, Paul Bettany, all in there as well, and it's directed after a few director kerfuffles, finished up by Ron Howard. Now, this is obviously follows the adventures of Han Solo before we meet him in his original character. So before we see what happens, before episode 4, put it that way. That was a lot easier than what I was going to say. But it's a prequel of Han, pretty much, to find out what happened before he met up with Luke and Leia and the rest of the cool gang. And it's a solo movie. It's a Star Wars movie, so yeah, we've got that going for it, I guess. But honestly, I wasn't overly excited for this movie. When I heard about this movie, I was like, okay, let's see what they do with this. And then they kind of, showed trailers and stuff, and I was kind of like, what's the game plan here? And pretty much what we got was just a generic sci-fi heist movie as such. This movie was fine. I had pretty low expectations going to this movie. I didn't expect Alden Ehrenreich to be very good. I expected the movie to be below average, but I actually came out a lot happier than I thought it would. I actually did enjoy this film. There's definitely some things wrong in this film, and there's some obvious glaring problems, but in the end, I did have a good time with this film. This, as I said, is just your everyday run-of-the-mill, heist movie with stuff we'd seen before, and ended up being pretty predictable. Generic fight scenes thrown in space, pretty much. It kind of felt like this was just a sci-fi film that they'd said, no, this is going to be a Star Wars film, and this guy here is going to be Han Solo. Now, of course, we had thoughts about what he's going to be like. He wasn't too bad. I had pretty low expectations, as I just said before, but he did impress me. He had some mannerisms that were very similar to Harrison Ford. He didn't really have the voice down pat. He kind of isn't a believable voice as younger Han. And even, but he looks alright, I suppose. So it wasn't a bad casting choice. I think there are people that could do it better, but obviously there's a lot of people that could do it worse. Emilia Clarke, Woody Harrelson, Paul Bettany are all in this as well. They're decent. Nothing, phenomenal. Woody Harrelson's I feel like he's kind of phoned it in, and he goes, well, I'm just going to play this character, and I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to be in a Star Wars film. And that's kind of what it felt like. I actually did enjoy Paul Bettany. He was a great, I'd say, sub-villain, because he's meant to be a villain, but I don't truly see a villain of this film. If you see this film, you'll understand what I mean. It didn't feel like he was... When he was, in the scenes, he was phenomenal. I really enjoyed Paul Bettany's performance, but when he was outside, they never went back to him. It didn't feel like it was an overbearing threat. It felt like it was just kind of there as a point of the movie, as a plot point, and it didn't feel like they could have dived more into his character a bit more. You find out a few more things towards the end of why he's actually, who he's working for, and blah, 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 but I feel like they could have expanded on his character. And Donald Glover, phenomenal as Lando. He was great, charismatic, just awesome. Oh my, click away now. It's not even worth sticking around after I attempted that. I'm not even going to cut that. Oh my god, I can't say it. Scene stealer. We got there. Well done, Alex. Thank you. No, he was a scene stealer. He was phenomenal. I had pretty much the one thing I expected was Donald Glover was going to be fucking good, and he was, and I was correct. And well done to him. He was definitely a bright spot of the movie. It did have some fun, entertaining scenes. It had some jokes in there. A lot of them didn't hit. Some of them did. But it wasn't unenjoyable. It was a movie that I think I did enjoy during the time, but I just looked and go, okay, they could have fixed that. That could have been a lot better. The plot kind of felt forced, and all the references are all like, that one, don't ya? Haha. And then some of them were like, that's how we got that. You never asked for it, but that's just so you know, that is that. And it kind of felt forced in. A lot of this movie did. It wasn't, as I said, it's not an unenjoyable film. I think you can get something out of it, but it's just very half-hearted. I'm stumbling doing this fucking review because I can't even think of what to talk about in this film. It was very generic, and they kind of just stuck a Star Wars sticker on there and said, this is your movie. enjoy, and it didn't like that. I also don't like the fact that they make Emilia Clarke and Han Solo's character meant to be like this great love interest. I hate when they do that, when they like create this big love in a story, and then you see the prequel and he was in love before, and you're like, well, this kind of tarnishes that a little bit, doesn't it? It was just no risks, no. It didn't feel as special as a Star Wars film should feel. Again, I say bad things about it, but it wasn't unenjoyable movie. It did have some fun things doing there to watch and to go through. The characters weren't dislikable except L3. If you've seen the movie, that character is literally one of my least favorite characters in cinematic history. She was so fucking annoying. I would love to see that character never return to my life ever again. Yeah, nothing much I can say about this movie. This movie was fun to watch. I don't think it was even close to as good as Rogue One if we're comparing it to the other Star Wars spin-off. I won't compare it to the rest of the Star Wars movies because I feel like they're different. Like, you know, they're a long-built journey, whereas these two are standing on their own, and Rogue One absolutely kills it in that regard as a solo movie. This one kind of, I think, struggles, but still is enjoyable. I would still say if you like Star Wars, check it out. You might not love it. You might really like it. I had a friend that thought it was really fun, and he really, really, really enjoyed it, whereas I was like, no, it was enjoyable, but it had its problems, and it did. I'm giving this movie a C+. Thank you guys for watching my review of Solo, A Star Wars Story. Keep updated by pressing that subscribe button for all my videos, whether they're reviews, Blu-ray videos, whatever they may be. It is simple as pressing that subscribe button. Let me know what you thought of the review or the movie itself below. But of course, guys, have a good one.